My name's Claude Roussel. I live in Iqaluit, Nunavut. I've been living here for the past 12 years. And technically I have a jewelry diploma and I've taught jewelry making, but my skills lend me to do other things, such as this boat. I've worked in the film industry in Halifax, Nova Scotia for about 15 years, and I specialized in special effects, specialized props, whatever my skills were in need of. My first experience with making model boats was about 15 years ago with Salt Street Films, where we did a movie of the week called The Halifax Explosion, and it was based on the Halifax explosion. We made two models, one 1/8 scale and one 1/25 scale of the two individual boats that collided in Halifax Harbor. I was the key model builder in charge of the team and made sure that we made all the pieces that were required for the shots. One was a full model boat and the other one was a half model of a boat. So I was approached to see if I was able to build a model of the Nuliajuk. After some meetings and talking about it, I got excited to be able to have the opportunity to make the model. The next step was deciding how I was going to make it as far as materials went, and the availability of materials in the Arctic and the logistics side of it. The product that I'm using is called styrene and Sintra, which is basically styrene, and you can get it in 4x8 foot sheets, and it comes in various thicknesses from 0.8 millimeter to 1/2 inch thick. It's very light, durable. You can vacuum form it, you can paint it, you can glue it, you can put body fill on it. So it's quite strong. When I lofted the boat, the sections of each curve of the hull of the boat is all made out of wood. I did get drawings for lofting the hull of the boat, which was a big help as far as accuracy went. I did have a lot of photographs of the boat, of course. That's how this boat was made, all through reference of photographs. It took a lot of time, still has been taking a lot of time, but it's part of the process as far as finding the right shot for the piece that I'm building. I found not a whole lot, a couple of times where I had to remake something because I later found another photograph with a better angle to make the piece. So about 7 months into the project, I realized that there were some photos that I had to take and some photos that just weren't available relating to where the boat was, to get a detail of the hull. Obviously we couldn't get pictures of the boat when it was in the water, so we had to wait till it was out of the water and to get accessibility to get the proper photos. One of the biggest things was I couldn't really work on all the details on the deck until I had the hull finished, because that would require me to put the boat upside down and really risk breaking all these detailed little parts on the boat. So I was trying to use my time wisely as much as I could, where I would make the wheelhouse, I would make the smokestack, and I knew there was a Zodiac. And I think the big challenge was forecasting which stages of the boat needed to be completed first. I realized the hull of the boat needed to be finished first, of course. But I couldn't keep flipping the boat upside down and back up and work on different spots of the boat. I realized that the hull had to be completely finished. One of the things that I realized was the difference from the architectural drawings to the photographs of the finished boat that I had. They weren't all exactly the same. So I found that I had drawings, that stuff that I made, like these for instance, there was drawings for these, I made them. You can see this is the original, and this is what the photograph, or this is from photographs of the boat. So they're quite different, and I had to remake the rest of them. I imagine that's normal when they're building the boat, but I haven't built a whole boat before, a real life-size boat before, so I imagine as you go making the piece, the architect will realize there's some little finicky things that you need to adjust. So There was the size of the windows, the placement of the windows, the spacing of the doors. There were some things, photographs that had one piece that was later added after the boat was made. Some of it is making an obvious logical decision, practical decision about, you know, that wouldn't be done. So I'm at first I was really focusing on doing it exactly as I saw it, but some of these things were later changed for obvious reasons, and even placement of where the spacing of this and where windows were, that they didn't correspond to the actual architectural drawings. So building this boat is kind of like a puzzle, but not in a normal way of making a puzzle. So as of now, I have the hull the way I want it. Right now, all the hull needs is the paint job. They're separated. There's black, there's blue, and there's white. The details with these things is very high, and they do take a lot of time just for one piece at a time. So that's the thing that slows us down. I also have to make this wheel, I'm not sure the proper name for it, that drags the net up. So that's a big piece in itself here that will be here. And there's a little walking deck here with a ladder going down. I have these pipes that go right here, like that. And then there's also two more support beams that go there. So these pieces are ready to go. I'm just kind of waiting because, again, as you can see, this not putting them there is giving me the space to be able to put all the detailed items in. As you can see, the amount of detail that was needed for these for the boat. I have this valve, I guess. It's all made from scratch, the whole thing. So, but it was quite prominent, so I really had to focus on the detail. This is different types of plumbing fitting that's on the boat that I noticed that's on the boat in quite a few locations. So what I'll do is I'll make a mold. I'll be making a mold of this item, and this item. You can see they're made from, you know, brass to styrene that turned on a lathe to different fittings. Even this to make it look like it's a nut. But that's you know, that's the quality of detail that needs to be done for a model like this. This is an example here. This piece here on the boat, on the ceiling, there's like a rail, a track. So it comes out and then it goes over and then it fits right in place here. This obviously is removed and it's put down in that corner, and then this conveniently fits inside, obviously for bad weather. But instead of having that option, I decided, because on the boat too, this is where it's stationary, it goes, so I'm just going to keep that there like that, as opposed to making the mechanism to go over here and back. Okay, as far as another example of details here on this door, I'm going to be putting the hinges. There's 3 hinges here. There's a door handle, and there's these latches here. There's also, I'm going to put the acetate for the glass, and the doors aren't going to be functional. I'm just going to actually apply it to here and cut the hole out for the window, so it'll just show that the door is closed. Basically, it won't be able to function.